So guys like Tony Smith are the reason why I'm showing you guys how to play cornhole and not chasing those pro dreams anymore myself. Since he burst onto the scene, he's become a world champion, multi-time open champion. Tony Smith is one of the most incredible shot makers this game has ever seen. And today we're gonna break that down and show you how to be just like Tony. If you guys see Tony at a tournament, he's a right-hander. In doubles, he prefers to throw outside. So if you watch him and Mark a lefty, they both throw outside. So we're gonna start on Tony's preferred side. He is a same foot forward thrower. So we've started calling this the dart stance because it's very similar to how a player throws darts. He doesn't have a real deep stance and he's not real tight up on top, but you'll see him, he puts his first foot forward, sets his position, and then his back foot has a bit of a tilt to it. So one of the things to note with Tony after he sets up is you're gonna see him, he's gonna hold all three of his bags. All of his extra bags are gonna be in his hand. So you're gonna see him take those three bags and he's gonna set them on his hip. This is where he starts. He's gonna set them up on his hip. He's going to kind of flip his bags. He's gonna decide what his shot is. He's gonna let it settle. He's gonna settle it here where he's got maybe 70, 80% of the beads are in his hand. But what you're gonna see from him is he's gonna get down here and he's gonna start shifting. And he's gonna get that bag about 50-50 weight distribution. He's gonna have about half of the beads on one side of his four fingers and half on the other. And he's got a 4-finger grip. He doesn't have a loose finger or anything like that. It's a fairly soft grip, but it's not a traditional butterfly. He's not getting those, he's not pinching it and getting those corners to pop. He's pretty much right in here. As I've been experimenting with this and working on it for this episode, I've noticed that this particular grip is really easy on the hand, it's really easy on the arm, and it's really easy to adopt. It's very similar to what somebody would start with in the backyard, and Tony's really perfected it. Did you know that 80% of viewers don't subscribe to our network? You'd do us a huge favor if you could like and subscribe. Now, something to remember about Tony is he's a taller player. He's 6'1", maybe 6'3", somewhere in that range. So he gets a lot of arm motion. That pendulum can generate quite a bit of power on its own, but he's very controlled. He doesn't get too far over. He's never been a guy who's thrown big step over shots. So again, he's gonna come in here, longer backswing, and he releases pretty high. Like his release point is pretty straightforward, pretty high, and he kind of pops right through it, puts all that power in at the end, and he gets that snap on that bag, which creates a lot of that spin and drives through. This episode is brought to you by Reynolds Bags. So everybody asks us, what gear do you want? Well, our friends over at Reynolds have shared with us some of their award-winning bags. Since 2010, Reynolds has been making bags that win games, win championships, and have dominated on tour. This is their latest model, the Thunder Hybrid Carpet Bag, an awesome sort of 8.6, 8.5 type of bag. We've also got our Tantrum. The Tantrum is a herringbone carpet, so it's gonna be a little bit slower. It's a great bag. You're seeing a lot of top players throw this kind of style. And then you've got a championship winning bag here from our friends at Reynolds in the Typhoon, which has a pretty slow side. This one will get some good bite on it. And it's got a quick, fast side to kind of cut through. So one of the cool products that our friends over at Reynolds sent us is their Air Raid. This is a great item. You see it's got a huge suction cup on the back. It's a great practice tool. You can put it right on the board where you want. You've now got a great blocker bag. You want to roll, it's going to stay in place when you go to roll. It's not going to go anywhere. And then you're going to be able to work that airmail, hence the Air Raid. Jeff and crew have supported the cornhole community for 15 plus years, and we just want to give a big shout out to them and send you guys their way to check out what they've got.
In the center for a point or a cut where I land here and try to cut in for 3.
My go-to throw for like a single bag roll is more so just a cut roll, where I'll get one half of the bag to lift off the board. It'll continue to cut around it. Just enough so that I don't have to go super wide with it. It just lifts that one side over the bag. No matter what your miss, it needs to be in that center lane. If you got only 3 inches of your bag covering that hole, it's either bullyable or it's a hard collect.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really trying to maximize the amount of bag you leave in the middle of the board. So I try to keep that cut roll as middle as I can, to where even if it doesn't get up or over, it stays in the middle.
Yep. So you're always trying to stay in the middle, right? You're almost talking about like a good miss, right? You're not necessarily trying to block, but if it settles there, awesome. You start working off of it.
Then it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, and you're staying in that sort of like 8 inches wide, a couple inches left or right of the hole, but pretty much up in front of the hole and able to get it without being too aggressive, right?
Yeah, you're either going to get it or you're going to block their bag, and then then you're both of your bags are pretty much dead, and you're just trying to go over them.
You're one of the most accurate players in the game. How do you develop that accuracy to kind of stay in that middle all the time?
That's just reps, and really understanding the feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a feel-based shot. My main thing that I try to tell newer people is their main focus, other than working on getting their bag to flatten out, which that's just kind of like a given over time. You need to do that, is figure out when you throw the bag what it's going to do when it hits the board, and learning your landing spot.
That's that accuracy piece, right? Because if your bag's going to work left to right every single time because it's a little left side down, knowing that, you can actually play the game off of that.
Exactly.
So in talking with Tony, what we found out is that everything's the same. Whether you're running the bags in the hole or keeping them up the middle, everything is built off of hitting the same spot and working up. He wants to stop pretty much in the front half of the hole, and he's going to stay middle every single time. So if it goes in, that's great. If it hangs up here, that's great. If it stops down here, I can still get it. So he's going to be continually just keep working that middle. And, you know, he found out after his 2022 season that staying up the middle was better than particularly setting a block every time. So what changed and gave him the MVP and the Player of the Year in 2023 is he was finishing with more bags in the hole. So these bags that he was throwing, instead of stopping here or here or here, were now stopping here. And he would work off of that for a scoring opportunity. You know, maybe his opponent would glance off and miss, but what he was doing is he was just kind of putting them all in here and then cleaning them up. So I'm a tournament cornhole player, but you're probably not. Most of the people watching this are probably playing cornhole 2-3 times a year. They're at a backyard, they're at a barbecue, they're at a family reunion, and they want to dominate. So we're going to show you how to take Tony's throw, integrate it with what you want to do, and give you the approach to do what you need to do to win your next event. You've heard the story, wood is good. In cornhole, you don't want to blow them off the back. And when you watch a player like Tony, he's not blowing bags off the back. He's got a real consistent trajectory with the same power. So that bag is going to land on the board. It's going to travel 2 feet, maybe 3, and he's going to stay right in that zone all day with every shot that he throws. So what you're really trying to do is get that bag to stop kind of on the front of the hole. You're throwing to the front of the hole, right in this general area. So if you're consistently stopping your bag there, you're going to dominate at every level of the game. We're going to set up here these black ones. We're going to throw like a backyard player, try to hole hunt these. And then the white ones we are going to throw, try to keep them in the middle. Some may go in, some will set up for blocks. You can see there the black one kind of goes over the top as it comes in a little hot. So you've got the next shot and you're trying to be like Tony, you want to put it in the middle. A little higher, stays in the middle, doesn't go all the way up. Now it's a block bag for this guy who's throwing the, trying to hole hunt here. And he's going to try to push through that. He's going to come in a little hot probably. And he gets an awkward shot, kind of bounces because it was a little short. And you're Tony again, you're going to try to come in and keep it up the middle. And that's perfect because you now got bags across the front. And the guy with the black bags has got 2 kind of almost out of play. So every backyard player sees this and they're going to go airmail. So we're going to try a little airmail of our own. And just like a backyard player, we're going to yank that thing to the left And what Tony would tell you to do here is he'd tell you to go fast side, same bag. You don't care if it bunches, you've got hold control. So you're gonna step out just a little bit, you've got a nice lane there, and you're just gonna go fast side right up the gut and try to push a couple of these in. And that's perfect because you've still got hold control and his bags are out. The guy with the black bags, he wants to be the hero. He's gonna try to airmail it one more time. And sure enough, he's gonna pull it. And Tony's gonna say, go on for it, man. Just shoot it up the middle with the fast side, give it a little extra. And just clean it right up. You're gonna throw an 8 on a 2, and you're gonna dominate there. That's a 6-point round for a backyard player. That's almost a third of the points. You get 1 or 2 of those in a game, and it's very hard to come back from.
Just like that. Yeah, so I've thrown enough airmails that it's a feel thing. So I know how much power, I know where to release. So for example, on a normal airmail or a normal slide shot, I probably would start releasing here. On an airmail, I'm releasing here. It's giving it more height.